saw last year, I had something that looked quite a bit like this, called it Rampage. I used pretty much the same shell, but I redid the whole drivetrain, added a few goodies, and had a friend do this nice airbrush paint job. Things I'm most pleased about are these hinges I've got going all the way around the side, these rusted hinges. Should prevent people from getting a claw, a wedge, whatnot underneath there. Should be good defense against wedges and anybody who's tried to lift, scoop, or otherwise get me off the ground. But if they do get me off the ground, it's not a problem because I have fully independent suspension. If I get lifted up, as you can see, the drivetrain stays right on the ground. So if somebody comes by with a forklift or a scoop, gets me, I still have complete traction. Most of the weight is directly on the wheels. The shell is a lot lighter than the drivetrain. So if anybody gets me picked up, whatnot, I should be still set, be able to get away or do whatever. I made this because last year a lot of robots got hung up on really small objects. There are a lot of lifters, scoopers, wedges. So this was an anti-pinning device, a defense against that. Then they changed the rules and said pinning doesn't count anyway. So it's sort of a moot point, but I still like it. It looks good. Other thing I added just in the last couple weeks, just for fun, I went ahead and changed the arm such that I could raise it up high. Got some chainsaw chains, put a flail on. I don't know if safety guys are going to like this, but this is what it does. Up into the audience, that's for the safety guys to decide, but there's a net up there, so it should be okay. So anyway, those are a lot of fun. I really like those. It all just opens up, easy to work on because there's nothing to take apart. I can flip it on its back and open it up if I didn't have that arm bolted up at the moment. Everything's just on these same hinges, just like these hinges. I have ball casters on here that let the body slide around pretty slickly, so there's not a whole lot of friction from dragging the body around. I'm going to lube these up and I replace them every now and then because they get really chewed up and they stop spinning around. I have a Craftsman 14.4 volt cordless power drill. Batteries and the motors and the weapons are taken out of the same power drill. The drive motors, I have no idea where they came from. They're from some surplus store in LA. I have no idea what they're for, but they're pretty tough. I have Novak Rooster ones from got them through Tower Hobbies, a typical RC car device, but those are meant to handle about 4 to 7 cells, and these are 12-cell battery packs. So I have a couple of Tekin Titans that I can throw in if I think these are going to fry. They get terribly hot, so I put in the computer cooling fan on top to suck a lot of air out, hopefully to keep it cool. My really only weakness is battery life. I get right around just about 5 minutes before it starts to poop out. Apart from wires coming out, I think battery life is my main concern. Otherwise, I'm pretty confident.
What does he weigh?
Just under 25, about 24 and a half. The body is all aluminum. I'm from UC Santa Barbara, and we had the shop supervisor do the welding on the body. I did a lot of metal bending in sheet metal bending machines. It's got a whole lot of these hinges. Everywhere you see a bolt, I have something called nut certs, which are rivets that are threaded. So you drill a hole, pop in this rivet, and the rivet has threads, so you can put a bolt right into it. Pretty much the whole thing is put together with these. Every bolt, everywhere, holding the whole thing together are these fabulous little nut certs that I'm really pleased with. It saves you the hassle of putting a nut on one side and a bolt on the other side and trying to get access to both sides to fasten things. This way I can just unscrew from one side, and it's very easy, very quick to get things apart. And back together. A good friend, a graduate student, Tom Dragonis, it was his third thing he'd ever airbrushed. He was just teaching himself to airbrush, and I thought it was going to come out a lot worse, so I'm very happy with it.
Well, good luck. Thank you for letting me talk to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this match underway. 5, 4, 3.
tools actually uses as many components and raw materials as I could find at a normal hardware store because they're inexpensive and very reliable. So obviously you see here, there's a drill here, and there's a drill here to drive my two weapons. I have an arm that swings like this, and these are a pair of grabber arms. So they're driven by normal drills. This is actually a gearbox from a windshield wiper, so it's from a car junkyard. And these are all just raw material I bought at the hardware store. And in fact, the drivetrain are also two more drills, and these are wheels from remote control car. These are RC racing batteries. They're all RC batteries, and I use two RC motor controllers for the two drive wheels. So they're hidden in there down inside.
So those are RC controllers.
They're RC digital controllers.
RC digital controllers. And I see you're using Tekken Titans.
Yes. It's actually not made for high speed. It probably goes 8 to 10 miles an hour, but it's actually built with a lot of torque. The wheels are small and drilled with a lot of torque. So it's powerful, but it also is very maneuverable. Turn on a dime. The shell is, in some ways, very simple, in other ways, kind of high-tech and complex. What you see here is a weave of graphite and Kevlar. It's wrapped on top of foam. So this is, you can either buy or mix your own foam, make a shell, cover it with fiberglass or Kevlar, just like a switch, and it's not very hard to do.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully this year will be better than last year.
I hope so, yeah.
Get this back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mr. Carlberg from California, USA, and well, this is a design I've been working for about 2 years now. Why did I make a walking robot? Well, for one, it hasn't really been done that well at Robot Wars, and I wanted to be the first to have a very good walking robot. The feet are essentially racquetballs that go into the cup here, and so you got a lot of cushioning here, plus you have a spring that this thing slides on. So it hits the ground a lot as it walks, but it has some cushioning. By having a walking robot to compete against robots that are lighter. This weighs a little under 50 pounds, but I fight 25-pound rolling robots, so I have a tremendous weight advantage. So I'm hoping to use that to just batter and destroy my
Alright, let's get this match underway. 5, of the competition for Red Shoe KM was Red Shoe is finished, ladies and gentlemen. For this portion, we have Red Shoe, the winner of that match, KM. The judges have broken up the match between Buzzcut and Columbus Mobilis, which turned a deadly embrace. They asked the competitors to separate and then continue. They have 1 minute, 3 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, just got word from the Columbus Mobilis. They are immobile, so the winner of that match is Buzzcut. And the winner is KMM. Our winners, KMM and Buzzcut, will receive over the competition rounds. Let's give a round of applause for all our competitors.
Keith, the creator of the fish stick from Guam. Explain the fish stick.
The fish stick from Guam was a name that I chose for 2 reasons. One, I didn't want a name that was very aggressive, like the Master and Spike and so forth. I thought that was ridiculous. I wanted to prove that my robot was tough in the arena as opposed to by his name. And so, keeping that in mind, I was at the beach with a couple of friends, and 2 questions came up at once. One being, what would we like to eat for lunch? And the second is, what am I going to name my robot? And the answer kind of fused in my mind, and I decided that the fish stick was going to be a good name. Not aggressive, interesting to hear, and I added Guam kind of on a whim. I really have no reasons for Guam, but I guess all my life I've loved saying Guam, especially because people from Guam are Guamanese, and that's kind of it. It's powered by 2 Makita batteries and 2 lead-acid batteries, which give me 12 volts.
What are his drivetrains?
I have no idea. The drivetrains I got at a store. It's very different from the original design. It was originally an octagon, and as I found parts, I kind of found ways to incorporate them into the design, making changes along the way. So I really don't know what those motors were originally used for. I got them at some little shop, but they do the job. They get me going at around 5 miles an hour. I'm using Airtronic speed controllers, who are also my sponsors. They didn't quite do the job, so I actually had to go into them and modify the electronics a little bit, which was challenging, but I finally figured that out a few days ago. And then they started working, and now I can actually move it.
What on here is bird?
Bird parts are these gears and the shaft. And the key to this arm are these universal joints. And Bird did a really great job making them. They work really well, and they're strong. And so what Bird created was my spinner. It's really the key to my robot, as you can see. And so that's why I use them, because they make great parts.
Okay. Thank you very much.